All right, hey everyone. This is Alex Fincham with Ironis Insights here, and today I have a really special guest talking about cybersecurity. We have Hani Eshack from Critical IT Solutions. Hani, where are you calling from today?
We're outside of Washington, D.C.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think you sent some of the rain up here to New York as we were just
I
chatting before
know.
the
I'm
call.
sorry about that. I wish I have control over it, but yeah,
No worries at all. Looking
we got
sharp,
our
man.
share, and now it's your share. Now it's your
Yeah,
turn.
exactly. Now it's my time. I love the pinstripe suit, and
But thank you.
I'm getting ready for my costume as it's today is October 30th.
Where are you gonna be?
Uh, yeah, I guess you have to come to my party and find out. It's
Send pictures.
some type of Egyptian warlord.
Oh, okay.
Should be fun. Yeah, so thanks for hopping on today. I'd love to just get in a little bit about, who you are and, how you became where you are today at your company.
Okay. I mean, I've been in this business, in the business of technology, for as far as I can remember. Um, I started really focusing on it in the mid 1990s. I was a technology officer for a government contractor. We had 25 people in the IT department, and it was primitive back then. And then I left that position and was the CTO for a pharmaceutical industry for 10 years, which is also a different kind of industry, different challenges from contracting. And then 2010, I decided to start Critical IT Solutions because I saw a need, especially growing need at that point, and now it is essential need, which is the cybersecurity, protection, and all the other things that come up in the technologies world every day. There's a buzzword, AI, this and this and that,
Yeah.
and people don't understand it. But the risk is the same for the large, small, and medium companies. They face the same risk. Only difference is that small and mid-sized companies find it difficult to afford hiring the team to do to protect them like the large companies. Large companies can afford it in any industry you look at. So that's where how I got into it. And of course, since 2010, the last 16 years, things have evolved and changed quite a bit, as you might know, I'm
I was
sure.
just going to say, well, first, my cousin actually works in the pharmaceutical industry and cybersecurity at Panther, um, which is based in Pittsburgh, where I'm from. And I mean, congratulations on what, 15 plus years now you've had this
This,
company,
this
and
is our
yeah,
16th year, yes.
incredible, incredible. I mean, yeah, the landscape has changed so drastically, right?
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear more about, like, how it was when you started in 2010, right?
Yes, we
and
started
and,
in
and where we are now.
2010. But let me go back a little bit further. When you
Yeah.
think about what cybersecurity is, back
Hmm.
in the 80s, when I bought my first computer, which is an IBM, a little thing with 64K of RAM and very little memory, 20 megabytes of RAM, hard drive this size, $5,000, and a dot metrics printer. And so at that time, there was no the word cybersecurity was not there. It didn't exist. Even when the PC became prevalent, and every company had a couple of PCs, or every desk has a PC, but that PC was isolated. It was just there on the desk, glorified typewriter. It has a few programs, Excel and databases and stuff like that. What really happened after that is that the internet became a thing, right? At the beginning, it was a dial-up, was America Online. You got mail and all that stuff.
Yep.
And that technology, that environment changed so much over the past 15, 20 years. Obviously, now we can't live without it. Our phones are connected. Our doorbell camera is connected. Our everything, our thermostats are connected. Everything is connected. Not only connected to just one, but connected to the world. If you have a machine that is connected to the internet, it is connected to the world. So here comes the threat. The
Yeah.
threat is global now. It's not local. Somebody can connect to you from anywhere in the world. and there are 8 billion of us. So some people find it easy to do this, to do that kind of thing. So that's where the initial threats became real. When people initially didn't think about it until they started getting hacked, until they started getting ransomware, until they started losing money. I mean, real cash. It's not an easy thing when a company that needs to pay $100,000 for a ransomware. It becomes a real problem. The biggest thing that I noticed is that most companies, large companies, can take care of themselves, and for the most part, right? They still get hacked because there are different kinds of hackers. But the smaller companies, those are the most vulnerable because they cannot afford it. They even don't think it's important. Oh, my data is not valuable. Well, for the hacker, data is valuable. It doesn't really matter. That leads to the thing that is the collective responsibility of every. It's not just the large corporation, the small ones. It is everyone. We have to do our job to protect it because if somebody gets hacked, you think you don't have information that's valuable. Even your contacts is enough for them to use to hack somebody else, and so on and so forth. Let alone if you get a ransomware. And over the 15, 16 years that we've been doing this, we've seen people who actually, we have an architecture firm that old fashioned, they have documentation, but they're using computers and stuff. They get hacked, they got ransomware. 30 years worth of documentation were wiped, they were encrypted, and they wanted $100,000. So that was a difficult, yeah, they're not going to do that. So we had to digitize all their paperwork, but huge, it was a huge cost as far as time is lost, reputation. I mean, so many levels of it. So it's a real thing. It's not, you can't say, nobody needs my data. That's the first myth. Oh, no one wants my data. The second thing is, oh, I'm protected. I have a password. Who cares if they're going to hack your password, especially if you use the password multiple times in different places and things like that. So, or I have an antivirus, all kinds of stuff. Those kind of things that are very common. Those are the dangerous part because at the end of the day, 85% of attacks come from the end user. Mm-hmm. For companies that actually are large and they get attacked, spear phishing or targeted, there are many different ways. They go through the firewalls and they check to see what's going on, vulnerability for the operating system on the firewall or actual servers of machines. So 85% of the attacks happen by user negligence. Mm-hmm. They don't take care of the basic stuff. Don't click on something. Don't download anything. Don't go to a conference and somebody is giving away USBs and you take one and you plug it into your computer. You don't know what's in it. Things like that. So education, this is our focus. Our focus is protection and education. We follow the National Institute of Standard and Technology, NIST. Mm-hmm. It's the framework 800-702 is the one that actually focuses on this. And you don't have to be a corporation that needs compliance. Like if you are in the pharmaceutical or medical field, you have HIPAA. If you're a doctor's office, you have to protect that information. If you are financial, you have PCI. If you are manufacturing, working with the DoD, then you have CMMC, which is a new one. So all of these are regulations plus the state regulation now is real important. Right now, like New York, they have their own regulation, very, very strict regulation. California is adopting the same thing. Maryland is doing the same thing. So every state, even though they focus on privacy and they focus it on the providers like Meta or any of the other companies that offer these services, they want to make sure that they protect the services of the user. But that's just the tip of the iceberg because it can impact everybody and everybody's susceptible to this. So we focus on the protection, we focus on the training, we focus on simulate phishing campaigns and see who clicks on what. And you would not believe how many people would just open up the email and say, oh, this is my bank.
Exactly. And especially at the larger companies, right? And it's that time of year right now where we're getting close to Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming around, the holidays, right? And that's when the phishing emails come in. They go, oh, we have a free iPad coming out. And So
Or,
you guys run these tests and see who's the guilty one?
exactly. We do that. We do that all the time. And we do
Yeah.
it a little bit because we wanted to see how people are really thinking about it, because a lot of phishing emails have urgency.
Yeah.
Facebook say, oh, somebody logged into your system, you need to protect yourself. Click here. And that's it. If they do that, we send them to training. Hey, go do some training. So in addition to what makes it even worse or even more dangerous right now is AI.
Mm.
Because in the old days, you get a phishing email with grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, things like that. You can say, what the hell? Who's this writing? Who's writing this? With the advent of AI, actually people get very well written, emails, no mistakes, nothing. It shows urgency without seeing. I mean, they're utilizing AI for the bad things, like others utilize it for the good things. So it makes it even harder. It is just a training, constant training, making sure that people are aware of it, and collectively, all of us. When I go and talk to the Chamber of Commerce or something like that in front of business owners, oh, but I only have 3 computers. They don't care if you have a computer for 3 or 10, if they are the group of people that are actually vigilantes. They just out and try to make money. If somebody is in the Philippines, I don't want to talk a specific country, but anywhere in the world can actually access your computer, get to you one way or the other. They can do a social engineering, because a lot of people would like to announce where they are. So if you're a CFO of a company and they found out that you are in Italy and your headquarters in San Francisco, they would, use your email to send to somebody, just wire money. Hey, I'm away. I need you to wire this for this client. And this happens. It's not stories are all over the place. Now, we don't hear about small companies. We only hear about big attacks.
Right.
And that's a different thing, because the smaller companies actually even embarrassed to say that they are, because they're going to be reputation. It's going to hurt them. So to them, they just cover it up. Just say, okay, whatever we have to pay. Plus, you have to pay fine. I mean, there's so many layers to it. And all you have to do is be vigilant. Now, even cybersecurity, I will jump a little bit, because the cybersecurity aspect of it used to be anybody can get a cybersecurity. Just yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
they ended up paying so much money that they're requiring their policyholders to adhere to these controls by the NIST. So the NIST framework, so that it's harder and harder and harder to get, and you have to prove that you're doing it. So there's a lot of aspects to this, but again, we are all in it together, and we have to work collectively to protect ourselves. It's
Yeah.
not just protecting your data; you're protecting everybody else's.
I think what you mentioned of regarding education is so important. And what I've seen, and talking to multiple successful business owners like yourself, right, trying to stop these things, is education is something that I mean, you need to explain to these smaller companies that some of their data that they don't think is valuable is actually valuable, right? And anyone can use that against them. I mean, I have an acquaintance of mine here in New York that owns a gym, and they got hacked. They took all their membership information, all of their credit card information. They don't even know who's a member at their gym anymore. They can't. No one can log in. I think this was last year, and they wanted $60,000. And who goes to show, like, if you pay that money, if you're actually going to get it all back.
How are you going to get it back?
Plus,
Yeah,
the damage is already done to all the data breach. So, who's going to
yeah,
feel comfortable sharing their information with that gym again? It's like it's almost
exactly.
beyond repair at that point when it's already happened. You need to kind of be proactive in this, hiring a company like you, right, to stop this before it happens versus being reactive. I mean, that's what I'm seeing is a true value, is educating the market on these types of threats that are real.
Yeah, and there are certain steps for us. It goes to the again, we're following the framework. You need to identify your systems. Sometimes we go to these companies that have systems that are lingering there. They're still in the system, but no one is using them or touched. So they are a vulnerability. So identify them, protect them. You need to protect them after your identification. Then you have to also have the best system, the latest generation of AV and EDR and all that. And if something were to happen to a system, you need to isolate it right away.
Mhm.
Then you need to be able to recover. So you have a backup, a real backup, offsite backup that you can actually recover and continue business. So all of these principles or pillars are vital for business survival. And again,
So you're
it's not
seeing that some
necessarily
of these companies don't have backups?
they don't, or they do have a backup on another drive or something like that that they haven't used it. I mean, now they used to have tape backups a long time ago. Now
Yeah,
it's a USB drive. They go and buy it from Costco and they plug
yeah.
it in and they back up. That drive will probably go back, and it's easily somebody attacking the system will know there is a drive and they will back it. They will wipe it as well. So offsite backup meaning cloud-based backup, which encryption on during traffic during transit and on site. So those are the technology is there to protect you, but at the same time, it's not impossible for somebody
Mhm.
to actually attack or attack anybody. I mean, large or small. I mean, if you think of it this way, there are institutional organizations that actually does that. Institutional organizations are usually associated with governments. I mean, governments can have access to all of this stuff. They do have tools, and they have the money, and they have the talent. Then
Mhm.
you have criminal entities. The criminal entities organize their stuff. They sell this stuff. They don't even make. They don't care about that. They sell it in the dark web. If you go to the dark web, you can buy. I can buy 1 million of those. There's also hacking as a service. You can actually pay $5 a month to get their systems to hack on your behalf, and you share the money with them. It's a whole world.
Wow.
So we check the dark web to see, are these emails or the clients are being sold? Are they available? Is your password available and accessible? So there is a whole layers of it. We have to protect yourself in there. So in organizations like this, criminal organizations, they have vigilantes. There are a lot of people who are very smart and they can use it. And it's a tug of war between them and Microsoft and all the other manufacturers, because there are vulnerabilities in all of this. And they find them and then they attack them that way.
So, with your company specifically, are you working to protect what type of companies? Is it a certain niche of industry, or do you focus on a certain like small to medium sized businesses, large businesses, or all the above? I mean, you're very well established now and clearly successful. I'm just kind of curious where you guys are.
So we're focused on nonprofits, law firms, and professional services. But we do have across the board. We have clients in the manufacturing. We have doctors. Uh, we have again the law firms and the nonprofits, large and small. Our sweet spot is under 50. We haven't gone into the higher, larger yet, but I think we've been approached by a lot of companies for that. And we do also co-management. If a company has their own team, we go in as a co-management. We do the assessments and all of that stuff, focusing on the cybersecurity and how to utilize the new technology that's coming up. Because a lot of CEOs and COOs, they hear this stuff. I'll give you an example of this. They hear AI and it's a buzzword. It's great. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to change the way we live. It's going to change the way we work. It's embedded in everything you do. And you notice that. You go anywhere and it's
Yeah.
AI, powered by AI. But they don't understand what AI is. What are the risks? It's definitely going to have an impact, a positive. It could be a positive impact, but it comes with its own risks. We have to educate people to understand what it is. Don't upload your tax returns to ChatGPT to analyze it for you. That's a dangerous thing because that's a public.
Yeah.
And so you are sharing. You might as well go outside, put a sticker here and say, my social security is, and walk down, Fifth Street. That's kind of thing that you want to avoid. So for companies, there are secure use of AI, which you put the data that you have. It works on your data, only on your data, in a sandbox, not on the public domain.
Hmm.
And so people like this, and that's another reason. If you have already lost your data to AI, somebody found it, they will, of course, you're opening up the front door for them to come in. So it is a very difficult for companies and CEOs to actually understand it, grasp it, especially older companies and people who have been in business for 50, 60, 70 years doing the same thing. It's a
Yeah.
small shop. They do the work, the paperwork and all that stuff. And this is just what? Can I go back to paper and pencils?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, you're going to be protected 100% if you throw your computers out, but you're not going to be able to do any business. So that's
Yeah, you won't be able to keep up with this day and age, that's for sure. You have to kind of go with the curve right now.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
what is your company doing right now that's successful in kind of working against this AI, right? Are you using AI against AI? Are you just educating these clients, these companies
All of
to
the above, all of the above. We utilize AI to um, expedite tickets, get self-service for a client,
sure.
things like that. A ticket comes in, we already have our knowledge base, so it gets it very, very quickly. We utilize it in other things, but at the
Yeah.
same time, we're for our clients' education and looking at it and assessing what they have. Because if you're a company and you think that your employees are not using, for example, ChatGPT, you're you're joking and you're lying to yourself because they will be using it because it makes it, it makes it, they become more productive.
Yeah.
That's one. So you're using AI is going to be part of our lives in business or in private. But so if you say that, then okay, how do we make them use it, but at the same time secure? This is where we help them achieve it. So our we see our clients, we don't call them clients, we call them partners because it is a partnership.
Yeah.
We become their partners. So they depend on us in everything. And we see them that way. So we try to do the training on a regular basis for all the employees. We try to give them resources to learn and educate themselves as well. We try to protect them with latest, and we try to meet with them on a regular basis and a quarterly business reviews that we have to see what's going on. Do they have any questions? Then a lot of questions come back to the two main things right now: cybersecurity and AI. How can we protect ourselves? What do we need to do? And because of the evolution of it, it changes all the time. Right now, I don't know if you're familiar with this, Windows 10, which billions of if not hundreds and billions, if not billions, of devices out there. Microsoft at the end of life was last week, the week before, so they do not support it anymore. So they're scrambling. I mean, it is a huge cost if you have to buy 100 computers.
Mm-hmm.
So we go with them. We help them plan ahead of time for next quarter. Let's get this service with Microsoft. Pay the $35 to keep Windows 10 moving and upgraded and secure, and then we plan ahead and see how we're gonna get that. So we because we see them as partners, we deal with them differently. Not gonna wait for you to open up a ticket. That's what the MSP or break and fix. Call me, my printer doesn't work or my computer is stuck. We don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're their partners, so they can count on us. Because we offer our services unlimited support, so they don't have to worry about, oh, how much is this going to cost me? That's it. You pay us a monthly fee. We are your full-time IT department. So that's how we put it.
Exactly, like a constant approach, regularly monitoring everything. And I mean, that sounds like that's exactly what these companies need, right? So they can focus on their business,
Exactly.
and that this partnership definitely seems like that's the business model, right? That's what makes sense for
That's
both.
what we found out, and I think it is beneficial to them as well as us because we are monitoring their system 24/7. So if we see a problem, it is a proactive. This is where AI come to play. If something is going on with the system, we have tools that actually remedy this behind the scene and resolve the issues before it becomes a problem. I don't want them to see the problem. We can fix it. So that's one part, and then it's good for them. You don't have to worry about it. Who has the time to learn all of this stuff? So they're focused on their business, growing their business, and we're focused on making sure that they have all of the technical aspect taken care of. So it's a great partnership in a way, and we
Yeah,
deal with
no,
them almost one to they know us, and they call. There are so many ways for them to actually request support, and at the end of it, and I think that's the most important thing is that we educate them not just for work but at home. What do you need to do at home? like if you have, we give them a newsletter on a regular basis. They make sure that you upgrade your doorbell because if not, somebody can hack on into this. Our cars are not connected, so and it's easily hackable. So the dangers are very, and it's not as I don't want to scare them, but at the same time I want to scare them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I need him. He's scared to do something about it, but at the same time, there are ways to solve these issues. Here's what you do: upgrade all of the every single device that you have has a firmware
Right.
that is upgradable all the time. Just don't leave it sitting there forever. Upgrade it, and that's
Yeah.
all. It's very simple to do. So we remind them of this stuff just to keep you safe at home, and your computer at home needs to be updated all the time. And if they have issues with their computer at home, they contact us. We help them with that as well. Because again, I say this really, I mean it. It is collective effort, all of us, individually, small business, large business, even governments have responsibility to say to make sure that we're all secure because it's a different world that we live in.
No, no, it absolutely is. I mean, it sounds like you've created this well-oiled machine, right? Um, it seems like your approach is really working for both you and your partners, which is great. I mean, I'm just curious, like for right now, like if you could wave a magic wand and fix anything, or it would allow anyone to be more aware, or like what would you fix in at your company in the industry? I'm just curious.
And I think for us, an example we had a 2-year plan. So how are we going to get ahead of the curve? Because technology
Yeah,
is changing and we need to get ahead of the curve. So we
yeah,
do a lot of education within that's why I go back to education. Education is very important.
yeah,
So we try to get our clients to do the same thing. When we do an assessment, we give them a whole host. We give them a score, initial score. Like, okay, you're here. You have 80 points out of 100. If you're 100, you're screwed. 80 is not good enough. We need to bring you down. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Part of it is education. And to me, one of the missing thing, even the industry, the focus is not on educating people, educating them. Spread the word. Just let people know that this is real.
yeah,
There are certain things you could do, and here's what you can do it. So we want to educate our internal folks as well as our partners teams
yeah,
and everybody around. Then, in order for us to know the amount of education these guys are, so we do courses, a training course. They go in, and some times some of our clients have compliance regulations, so they have to be trained, and
right,
not just only trained, but trained with scores, with tests, and reporting. So you have 25 employees. We run the test on the training on them, and they get uh, tested, and then the report is included in the compliance. So all of this is going to reduce, but not necessarily eliminate. It's not going to be ever eliminate. You will have people who are just not interested in this, cost me money, and then at the end of the day, they pay a lot more than what they pay us to maintain their.
that you make a great point, and that's one of the key deliverables that I've found is sometimes it's difficult to get through, which is yeah, I mean this is costing a few thousand a month, whatever it may be. It seems like a lot of money, but the cost for these small to medium-sized businesses, right, under 50 people, under 100 people, under 200 people, they can't afford one hack
No.
because that will wipe out your entire company. So the cost is just extraordinarily larger than this monthly increment, which seems like a lot, but it's I think getting that word out there. What I'm seeing is one of the education is just getting the word out, like you said, is the number one priority
Yeah,
right
and yeah, like you said, the cost is incredible. By next year, it's going to hit about $8 trillion. That's how much it's costing companies around the world.
now. Oh my
And
gosh.
65% of businesses who get hacked go out of business within 6 months.
Yeah.
So are you risking your business because you don't, you think it's too
That's a
much?
crazy statistic.
Yeah.
65%.
65% of businesses that get hacked go out of business within 6 months. This
Wow.
is this is solid statistics. It's not, so it's scary when you think of it. But most business owners who are not gotten hacked or things like that they just cannot understand it. It's very difficult to get have a grasp on. I'm going to pay $2,000 for or your services to protect me from what?
Yeah.
I don't. Nobody knows us. Nobody cares about us. No one wants our data. Those are the kind of myths. So we're trying to get them off that. So we were able to convince few. We couldn't convince some, obviously. They come back to us and say, hey, we got hacked. We have a ransomware. Okay, and that's going to cost you $10,000 just to get you out of this.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's I mean it's a challenge. That's why education is the most important part of this.
Wow.
Education the users, education the owners, all of us collectively we have to be aware of this danger and what happens if it does happen, if and when.
Right. I mean,
So
incredibly insightful. I mean, I think, what we learned here today, I mean, education is incredibly important. Being proactive versus reactive, right? Spreading the word out there that your information, while you may not think it is valuable. I think these points right now is really something our audience could take away. I mean, Haney, I just want to thank you again for popping on today. Um, I would like to just tell the audience, where can the audience find you?
our website is getcits.com or criticalitSolutions.com. From there you can find our contacts, how to connect with us, and phone number
Excellent.
and everything else there. Yeah.
We'll put that link below the video here. Thanks again for hopping on today, and
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Enjoy the Halloween.
I will. I'll have a good time at the party. I'll send you a photo.
Yes, please.
Sounds good. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.